Hello, my name's Juliet John from the Aesthetic Laser Skin and Wellness Clinic here in Ipswich. Today I'm going to talk to you about laser hair removal and the kind of technologies that we use here within the clinic. We actually use a Soprano ice, which is a medical grade laser, and it's FDA approved. And there's two different types of wavelength within this. One of them is an Alex and it's a 755, and what that means, it's used on a wide range of hair types and colours. The other one is a diode, which is an 810, and usually that's used on sort of like darker skin types. So what happens is when the laser comes in and you're gliding it, it's kind of like a cooling kind of tip. So it's like an ice block. So as it's delivering heat, we're also cooling it down. So it's really, really comfortable. It's almost like a hot stone massage. So you're gliding across the skin. So as you're doing this, what happens is the laser is going down. It's absorbing the kind of the melanin within the hair type, within the actual hair follicle. And then what happens is it kind of heats it up, warms it, and then starts to destroy it as we do that. What we've also got to consider though is you've got three different types of hair stages. So one of them's called anagen, then you've got the catagen, and then the telogen. So it's getting it in the active stage of hair growth. So when we ask you to come back, we usually ask you if it's going to be on your face. We usually say come back within about four weeks. That's really a good time. And then if it's on the body, usually every 6 weeks. So why we say that is we want to get it in its most active state, so we don't waste any of your time, your treatment time, because it's valuable and it costs money. So we want to make sure you get as much from your treatment as you possibly can. So when we ask you to come back in that time slot, that's when it's really crucial too. So as you come back, we're going to be heating the area, it's going to be breaking down, and then you'll find probably 10 days after you've actually had a treatment, you start to feel as though some of your hairs are starting to fall out. That's very natural, and then it will just kind of keep shedding. You'll come back, you'll have an appointment where we shave the hair. If you can either do it the day before, so as to not sensitize the area, that would be great as well. So if you can shave before you come, that takes the sensitivity off, as well as adding the heat, for us to adding the heat. So if you can do that, that works out really, really well. Plus also, if you're having bikini lines, we actually know exactly what areas you'd like us to treat as well. And we treat all different areas, from guys to girls, wherever. It's all hair removal. So having said that in mind, so you're going to be coming back either 4 weeks if it's on your face, or every 6 weeks if it's on your body. There might be underlying problems as well. You might have hair growth through just naturally, or it could be kind of through like polycystic ovaries. It could be through medication. So you could also be hormonal. All those kind of things are all taken into consideration, and we do talk to you about it at your consultation. So something like polycystic ovaries, what happens is it's more like a maintenance. You're never going to combat the actual problem. So therefore we can reduce it, get on top of it, but you're never going to cure it. While you're going through something like that, you're never going to cure it. So for us, we need to let you know your client expectations, what we can actually achieve for you, what we can't achieve for you. And once you've had a course of treatment and everything is great and we've cleared the area, remember also you do end up having to have a maintenance as well, probably in about 4 years later. So just to keep you topped up, and because obviously things change, you might decide, you might go through medication again, might go through another stage of your life, you might just have a little growth spurt, and that's how we go from there. So having said that, I also just want to address guys coming in as well for the laser hair removal. They could come in they might be having like razor burn or something like that. It could be where they're kind of like their neck hair hits their collar and it starts to flick inside. The actual hair is growing into the neck area. So you've got things like that. So they sometimes to come in and have it all kind of like tidied up. Also around the kind of like the sideburns as well. I like to sculpt their beard, or it could be like a little area on their face that might need a few hairs taken away. It could be areas like in between the brows as well. We've got a really kind of tip which can sort of go specifically on that target, that particular area, small tip that we can do that for. And it could be sort of like, there's other areas that sort of like guys come in for, usually around their ears, or it could be like in the bridge there where their nose is. you know, those kind of areas, it's no problem. And then also we have athletes come in, so they might shave normally, or they might be bodybuilders, shave normally, but they decide they want to come in and have laser hair removal just because it helps the skin. It helps to not, you don't end up getting cut off, you know, cut the sort of like the area, shaving rash or anything like that, makes it a little bit more smoother. So remember, for guys, they might just have a few sessions every so often just to thin the actual hairs out. So if they're not going to grow a full beard, they might decide they just want it thinned out a little bit. So when they do shave and razor, it's not going to be too harsh for them as well. So there's a few different ideas about laser hair removal. If you do want to come in and have a consultation, you usually come in, we do that for you and do a patch test, and it's all free of charge, and we run through what your medical history is about as well. So it's just a few ideas about laser hair removal. Thank you. My name's Juliette John.